a devoted healer, and holy warrior who channels the power of gods and goddesses alike. That's right, it's time for an all-powerful Cleric Quit build. Let's go! Hey there adventurers, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Archive, and today we'll be diving deep into the divine arts with a quick build to the Cleric class in Baldur's Gate 3. So, if you're ready to unleash the power of the gods and be the ultimate support by aiding your allies with powerful healing spells, and of course turning back the forces of darkness whilst wielding your divine might, then the Cleric might just be the perfect class for you. Let's begin with an overview. The Cleric is a versatile spellcaster who draws their powers from the faith and devotion of a deity. But don't be mistaken, this class isn't just about mumbling prayers. No, it's not at all. The Cleric is the unsung hero to any party. You can play as the healer by casting powerful healing spells and buffs on your allies, or you can take to the front lines by putting on heavy armor, picking up a shield and soaking up some of that damage. Or you can become the party's magical artillery by casting devastating spells. The choice, my friends, is yours. So what is the role of a Cleric? Well, I'm glad you asked. Although the Cleric can fulfill a variety of roles, your primary role as a Cleric is that of a support spellcaster, meaning healer. Now, don't get me wrong, you are easily able to turn the tide of battle by smacking down enemies with a mace when they get a little bit too close, but your party will be relying on you to keep them standing when the chips are down. So be sure you are mending them wounds and casting them healing spells when needed. Now I know it's not always the flashiest of turns, but trust me, it is well appreciated. Now before we dive into the build, let's quickly go over some of the essential ability scores for a Cleric, starting with Wisdom. Wisdom is the most important stat and is considered your primary ability score. This is because it will directly influence your spellcasting ability, spell save DCs, as well as your spell attack bonuses. Next up, you should be focusing on Constitution. Constitution is also crucial for increasing your hit points, giving you more durability in combat. It'll also help with maintaining concentration with certain spells. After that, you want to be focusing on Strength. Strength can be an important stat as it will directly influence your melee attack rolls as well as damage. But for the most part, your damage will be coming from casting spells, so don't worry about this too much. And finally, we have Charisma. Charisma can be very helpful as it will help improve your interactions with NPCs of the world, as well as the effectiveness of your channel divinity. So ideally, after you're all said and done, your ability scores should look something like this. Now for the time we've all been waiting for. Let's start off by building a life domain Cleric for the ultimate healer. Remember, you're the healer your team needs, not the one they deserve. At level 1, you're going to start off by picking the life domain Cleric. When you do, you will automatically know the Cure Wounds spell as well as the Bless spell. But more importantly, you'll get the subclass feature, Disciple of Life. But what does this do? Well, I got you, don't worry. This allows your target to regain an additional hit points equal to 2 plus your spell level, making you a lot more effective at keeping your party alive. At level 1, you're also going to get to pick up 3 cantrips. The 3 you're going to want to go with is Guidance, Sacred Flame and Blade Ward. Now Guidance is going to allow you to add a 1d4 to any ability check made in the game, so be sure you're spamming that every time you get the chance. Sacred Flame on the other hand is what I like to call If I Have To spell, as it tends to miss a lot, but it's the best damaging cantrip you get, so I suppose we'll make do with that. As for Blade Ward, well, this comes in handy when you're needed on the front line, the tank for your team of course, as it'll allow you to take half damage for bludgeoning, piercing and slashing damage. When it comes to spells, at level 1 you're able to prepare up to 4 spells from the list shown on screen. Now you're going to want to pick up Shield of Faith, Sanctuary, Healing Word and finally Guiding Bolt. Shield of Faith is going to allow you to either buff your own AC or an ally's, so be sure you place it onto the person who needs it the most. Are you surrounded by enemies or as an ally? Sanctuary also works really well in this scenario as it makes a target untargetable. But do remember, all AoE spells are able to bypass this defense. A handy little trick to note with this is if you cast Sanctuary on yourself, feel free to then go and send out all them heals that you need without the fear of being targeted by enemies. Healing Word works really well with this build for a few reasons. Number 1 being it's a ranged spell, Yes, I know Cure Wounds is a little bit more powerful, but for the most part it has its downside. For example, you have to be in melee range to be able to cast it. And number 2, you're able to cast this spell as a bonus action, leaving you able to smack that enemy in the face with a mace. Now when it comes to Guiding Bolt, well, this is going to become one of your only damaging spells that you have at the start, but it comes with a bonus. Any ally that attacks the same target you have just hit will now gain advantage on that attack. Now on to level 2. At level 2, you'll be unlocking your Channel Divinity. As a Life Cleric, this means you're practically becoming a walking hospital, pumping out all them healing energies, as you'll gain the Preserve Life action. This allows you to gain 3 additional healing, and hey, pair that with your Disciple of Life boost. Oh, it's like giving out 3 magical band-aids, right? You'll also be gaining an additional first level spell slot, bringing your total now up to 3. Nice. Level 3. When you hit level 3, you're ready to dish out some spell slinging goodness, as you now unlock level 2 spells. Be sure to select Spiritual Weapon, as it's like having your very own spiritual bodyguard, with the license to smite. And of course, spells like Healing Word, Shields of Faith, and Guiding Bolt are all your go-to choices. You'll also be gaining the spell Aid and Lesser Restoration. Ding 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 ding, level 4 has been achieved. Time for that upgrade. Bump up your wisdom for more spell power and stronger heals. You are a magical doctor after all. Level 5, baby. Time to unleash your 3rd level spells like a pro. Mass Healing Word, because who doesn't want a group hug with hit points? And Spirit Guardian, now enemies will think twice before crashing your healing party. You'll also unlock the Destroy Undead feature. So Undead, be afraid. Be very afraid. Now moving on to level 6 through 7. Level 6 and 7 will provide you with additional spell slots as well as new subclass features. The main feature being Blessed Healer. So now when you heal an ally, you'll also get some of the benefits. I mean, you're no good to anyone dead, are you? You'll also unlock level 4 spells. A good pick here is Guardian of Faith. And lucky you, this comes free with a Life Domain Cleric. Level 8. Well, it's time for another ability score improvement. So pump 2 more into that wisdom modifier, now bringing your wisdom up to 20. Now you're really going to be able to bring the pain or the aid. Now at level 9 you will unlock level 5 spells. Go ahead and pick that Flame Strike for some much needed AoE damage. You'll also get the spell Mask Your Wounds, which will provide you with some epic group healing. And now you've hit level 10. At level 10 you will unlock Divine Intervention. One thing to be aware of though is that you can only cast this spell once. Yep, that's right, it's a one and done spell, meaning you will not be able to cast this again, so be sure to use with extreme care. When casting Divine Intervention, you'll have the choice of 4 spells. The first one is going to allow you to deal 8d10 damage to all nearby enemies. The second one will resurrect all fallen companions with half of their hit points and restore all nearby allies as if they've had a long rest. The next one will give you rich bounties of potions and camp supplies. And finally, the fourth one will allow you to gain a new legendary weapon called the Devotee's Mace. Now personally, I like to pick up the weapon, but if you already find yourself having a decent weapon, feel free to change it up and pick any of the other ones depending on your situation. And now you've hit level 11. At this level, you're going to unlock your level 6 spells. Be sure to pick up heal, as it will come in handy when you're needed for that clutch save. This party would be so screwed without your help. And finally, level 12. This is another opportunity to boost your ability scores. Unfortunately, you can't boost your wisdom anymore, so be sure to invest the last 2 points into your constitution. And there you have it, a quick and divine cleric build to bring the light to the darkest corners of Baldur's Gate 3. Just remember, the cleric class offers a lot of domains to choose from, so feel free to go and explore and find the one that aligns to your playstyle. And if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to show that thumbs up button some love, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss another video. And before I go, be sure to leave me a comment telling me what race is best suited for the cleric. And thanks for watching the video, guys. Until next time, may the blessings of the chosen deity guide your path. Happy adventuring. Bye.